You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
What's up, Black and White Sports fans? John Matrix here, and I am back with another video. All right, folks, we're going to the world of the woke NFL. Yes, you know, we can't talk about the games because there's so much wokeness. The wokeness is overshadowing the play on the field. And today we're going to be talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers, their team went completely woke. On their helmets, they were actually honoring a young man that was gunned down by the police a few years ago. And his name was Antoine Rose Jr. And we'll get to him in just a second, okay? But one player refused to put that name on his helmet. Actually, it was on his helmet, but however, he ended up basically covering it up with another name, okay? And so we're talking about Alejandro Villanueva, who plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He crossed out that name, and he put the name of Army Sergeant First Class Alwyn C. Cash. He actually died in 2005. He was an American hero, okay? He was actually attempting to rescue soldiers from a burning vehicle following a roadside bomb in Iraq. He saved lives. He risked his life to save lives. So Villanueva also, you know, he was actually a Army captain, if I remember correctly. He was actually a veteran of the military, and he didn't want to use that name that the other players were using. Okay, he wanted to actually honor a real American hero and not a criminal, which leads us back to Antoine Rose Jr. So you know that the NFL says that players can actually put the names of victims of police brutality and systemic racism. But however, if you know the case of Antoine Rose Jr., he doesn't fit any one of those. Yes, he was gunned down by the police, but check this out. Antoine Rose Jr. was involved in criminal activity. And it's tragic, you know, because he was only 17 years old. But he was involved in a drive-by shooting. So what happened was there was a drive-by shooting. This guy gets hit. And then the police 10 minutes later pull over a car that matches the description of what somebody actually caught on camera. I believe it was caught on camera. I'm not too sure. I have to check that again. But anyway, the point is the car matched the description, and Antoine Rose Jr., two other guys, they are apprehended by the police. One guy goes peacefully. He gets arrested. The other two guys, including Rose, run away. So Antoine Rose Jr. is gunned down by the police, and he dies. Tragic, you know, he didn't want to get arrested because he knew he was involved in that shooting. And the shooting victim himself said that Rose was in the car. There's video of Rose actually being in the car. Now, there's some debate on whether or not Rose actually shot the gun. But however, the police actually found gun residue on the hands of Antoine Rose Jr. He was there in the car, and they recovered some other weapons also. And one thing that they found out, too, was that the gun was stolen. However, that was not admissible into court. He had stolen that earlier. So you see the NFL, once again, in a nutshell, is honoring criminals. And a stand-up guy, a military veteran like Alejandro Villanueva, refuses to bend the knee to criminals. So woke sports, you know, they're all honoring criminals. And it's nice to see that a guy like Alejandro Villanueva is honoring real American heroes that keep us safe. And it's tragic, you know, it's very, very unfortunate, you know, that sports, they really don't want to honor real heroes. Now, I don't know how the NFL actually felt about this, you know, because the name of Alwyn Cash actually should not have been on the back of his helmet. Now, will he get fined or something like that? I'm not sure. And he really, really should not. I'm pretty sure that the NFL doesn't want the news to get out there that they're going to fine Villanueva for honoring a real American fallen hero in Iraq. That would be a very, very bad look. But however, you know, the NFL is already suffering from the ratings as it is. I cannot wait to see those Monday Night Football ratings. Rhodes is going to be putting up a video on that. It's probably going to come out tomorrow once we actually find out the data on the ratings. The NFL is taking a big hit, a huge hit by getting woke. If there was actually more people like Villanueva that refuses to honor criminals, the NFL ratings, the NBA ratings, they would be much, much better. Much, much better. But no, they want a virtue signal. They want a virtue signal. And I didn't even really know about this case, because this actually happened in Pittsburgh. And of course, the Steelers, they are in Pittsburgh. I did the research on this, and it is unfortunate that this young man lost his life, but he did it to himself. A common theme in all of these guys that are getting shot and killed by the police, they are resisting arrest. They're resisting arrest, folks. This is what criminals do. And so, when that happens, the NBA, the NFL, they have to get super duper woke and start honoring these people and make these people seem much better than what they are. George Floyd, he wasn't a hero. Breonna Taylor wasn't a hero. She was the money person in a drug ring. And Antoine Rose, drive-by shooting, trying to end the life of somebody. And it doesn't even matter that if he actually shot the gun or not. He was in that car. He was a part of that drive-by shooting. That's why he ran away from the cops, because he knew it. If he didn't do anything wrong, he probably would have not ran from the cops, and he would be alive right now. But he lost his life at 17 years old because he wanted to engage in criminal activity. Very tragic. Very, very tragic. Very, very unfortunate. Maybe Villanueva actually knew the details of this. I don't know who's actually running the show over there in Pittsburgh, because if they did that research, they would know that this kid was engaged in criminal activity. And guess what? The cop, he walked. He walked. That's not surprising, because when you run away from the cops, when you resist arrest, it ends badly. I don't want to see any kid lose their life. 17 years old is just way, way too young. But he made his own choice. He made his own choice. He ran away from the cops. And it's unfortunate he died. But you got to remember, he was involved in trying to kill somebody else 10 minutes earlier. What goes around comes around, but it's unfortunate. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Alejandro Villanueva for the Pittsburgh Steelers does not put the name of a criminal on his helmet and puts the name of an American hero that lost his life in Iraq defending our freedoms. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to Black and White Sports, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.